Picking Up and Dropping Off is a really great film. The narrative is great, and I absolutely loved the characters. This was released in 2003. It's directed by Stephen Robman, and it's written by Zack, Estrin and Chris Levinson. And we have a cast including Scott Wolf, Amanda Detmer, Eddie McClintock, Rachelle, Lefevre, and various others. And this focuses on Will and Jane, and they're both single parents who have gone through divorces, gone through separations, and they often have to take their children to the airport to either send them to the other parent or, of course, to meet their children at the airport when it's their time to have custody. And because they're constantly back and forth at the airport, they end up bumping into each other. They meet each other. They strike up a conversation. They both realise they're in the same boat with having to pick up and drop off their children. And a little slowly, not necessarily slowly for the narrative, but slowly for the characters, they begin to connect with each other. Based on the premise, I did worry it would be a little bit repetitive. It would just be constantly back and forth to the airport. But actually, it did a really good job of keeping the story engaging, allowing us some time to get to know the characters outside of the airport setting, but never really giving us any fluff, never making it full of padding just to give it something a little bit different. And I think they did a really, really good job with that. And pretty much from the beginning, I realised I liked the characters. I was really emotionally invested in their story, and I had quite a strong emotional response. There are times when it seems like they're about to get together and everything is going really well, but then obstacles will arise. And obviously that's necessary to keep the story engaging, but it's so frustrating because I cared so much and I wanted them to be together. And that strong emotional response is something that I really enjoyed. The film starts off really strong with some really nice festive music, and then it gets really emotional really quickly with Will picking up his son. And if you can relate, if you've ever either been a child in that scenario where you have to divide your time between parents, or indeed if you're a parent who only has, who has joint custody, I think it could be quite an emotional experience. Absolutely. It's not too heavy, but it's heavy enough, and I found that just really heightened the experience. With regards to the Christmas aspect, it's not overly Christmassy, but I wasn't necessarily expecting that to be the case, and it could still get you into the holiday spirit. There's some good Christmas music throughout. We do have some nice decorations here and there. I thought Picking Up and Dropping Off was a pretty fabulous film. Really brilliant narrative, wonderful characters, visually really appealing, great camera work and lighting, a decent-ish amount of Christmas, a lot of emotions, so easy to be emotionally invested in this one, and I'd be quite happy to watch it again. I don't say that often about films, and I'm not going to rush to watch it a second time, but at some point in the future, I might quite like to revisit this one. Needless to say, I really enjoyed Picking Up and Dropping Off, and of course it's one that I'm very, very happy to recommend.